Hi, my name's Bex. So today I've had the idea to do a randomly generated book review challenge. So essentially this idea is you count how many books you have. So in my case, I have 254 in my room. You get a random generator to give you a number between 1 and, in my case, 254. I have to find that book on my shelf and then impromptu talk about it. You know, I might have read it, loved it, hated it, not read it, I don't know. So that's the challenge. I hope that makes sense. So to start, I'll just give like a quick run through of my shelves. So I'll start with the top shelf, but also I just wanted to note, these little sticky labels, I've put the number of books. So like that says 1 to 38, so it'll be easier for me to find when the numbers come up. But this top shelf is a mess. Here I've got poetry and plays. And yeah, just a mix of classics, modern classics and older books. And then here I have my Christian bookshelf with my Mulan mug on. And then here on this shelf, again, I have a lovely mix. I've kind of like semi-color coded like blue here and red here. This is the short collection of manga I own. And then behind my trinkety things, I've got the Throne of Glass series. And then on this shelf, this is mostly non-fiction books, majority mental health related with a few other things mixed in. And then after the water bottle, these books kind of all relate to genres of mystery, horror and thriller. Underneath we have series, like young adult series, got a mixture of that. There's Harry Potter behind the necklaces. Right at the bottom then we have another just chaotic mix of books I've read, books that are on like my immediate TBR. And then this section we're gonna ignore. There are some books there, but it's too chaotic. And then behind me we have my current collection of the Shadowhunter Chronicles, all of which I picked up at a charity shop. So that was cool. And then aside from my shelves, I have books a couple of other places. So here I keep my lovely copy of The Night Circus and The Starless Sea, which I'm currently reading. My Kindle, and then on the floor I've got some Stephen King books. They're not on my shelf yet because I've not read any King and I don't know whether I want to add them to my shelves yet. Okay, so we are joined by Olivia, who you can slightly see in my mirror. She's like a ghost haunting my room. But anyway, on her phone she's going to randomly generate the numbers for me and yell them out, and then I'll go hunting. So Olivia.
Random number generator. 9.
9?
It's an easy one.
Oh, Olivia, you bought me this book.
I can't tell what it is yet. Oh yeah.
That is spooky. So Olivia bought me this book. It is a poetry collection by Susan Wicks called Open Diagnosis. I think I gave it 5 stars. I was a big fan. If you like poetry, this has themes of like physical illness and that type of suffering, but also addresses a lot about family relationships. It just felt really clever, so I do recommend this.
Next number?
Next number. Random generator.
114.
114. Okay, we're going this shelf. So it starts at 112. We've got more poetry.
That's boring. Pick the next one.
Olivia says that's boring, so we're going to pick another one. Randomly generate a number!
32.
32. Oh, that's on the shelf again. Ooh, Arthur Conan Doyle's The Case of Sherlock Holmes. I have not read this, but I really want to because I loved BBC Sherlock. Shout out to Benedict Cumberbatch, yes. Actually, and the villain, Anthony Scott.
Andrew.
Andrew Scott. That's not right. I'm Moriarty?
Yeah, that's his name.
Anyway, that character was the bomb. The reason I've been put off from reading these is I'm really confused at like if you read them in an order. So if anybody knows, like, can I start with this or do I need to read other books first? Let me know. So pro. Okay, another number please.
230.
230. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but I'm going right to the bottom shelf. Okay, 230 was Kafka on the Shore. So this is Kafka on the Shore by Murakami. I've not read this yet. It's on my like little TBR section. I'm really keen to read this in May. Clown noises. I am really keen to read this in May as part of Read with Cindy's Asian Readathon, as Murakami is a Japanese author. I really want to read one of his books. I've never read one before, but I've heard they're super fantastical and good. So,
Boom.
boom. Hit me with another number.
164.
164. Oh, that'll be in a fantasy series. That would be The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater, which there's a vlog of me reading this. It's such a good book. It's such a good conclusion to the Raven Cycle series. I know I've mentioned it so many times. Just read it if you're intrigued. I was about to say if you're intrigued by the synopsis, but no, the synopsis does the books so dirty. It makes it I keep looking at you, Bud.
Hey.
I keep staring at Olivia. The synopsis makes it sound like a really cringy romance. No, bro, it's not what this is.
Boom.
It's an epic quest of dreams and the dead and
family.
Yes, boo. Hit me with a number.
190.
190. Oh my gosh.
She's got a classic.
We've only gone and stumbled over some classic literature. It should be required school read. This is BTS Icons of K-pop, the unofficial biography. Me being an absolute fake fan, I've not actually read this, but I've heard...
Did you get it as a gift?
I got it as a gift. I've heard Adrian Besley actually does the boys so dirty and loads of the facts are wrong. But it has pretty pictures in it. Oh my gosh, slay. So we've got cool pictures of like their fake love performance. Them at the BBMAs awards.
Yes, you're so intellectual.
This is highbrow.
That goes out to Books and Violets. Come on, 16. Pull through.
Okay, 16. This is random. Okay, we have the third Poldark novel, which, story of my life, I've not read, but I have started the TV show, and Aidan Turner as Poldark is... is great, let's put it that way. So when I got into the TV show, I was like, I really wanted to read the books, which has yet to occur. I don't even remember what Poldark's about, actually. It's historical fiction set in Cornwall, is it?
Maybe.
But I mean, they're struggling. I think they have a lot of struggles. And romance.
There's a pretty ginger lady.
There's a pretty ginger lady. That might be her. No, Demelza. Olivia, please, if you could randomly generate a book
That you've actually read.
that I've actually read, that I've not talked about on my channel before, that I want to talk about.
Okay, coming right up.
Coming right up.
236.
236.
What is it?
Okay. This is on my TBR section as well.
So moving on.
So moving on. The title's owned by Sarah Moss. I'm sure it's great. The first page is good. I've read the first page. Olivia had to leave for a second, but she's back, baby!
Better than ever.
Better than ever. You yelled at me a number before you left.
111.
111? What? Have I read this? It's on this shelf. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
I've not read it. But this is another book that I want to read in May for the Asian Readathon. So there's no point in me now doing a TBR video because we're really hitting through them all. Trying to tell me what to do. Here I have Amrita, written by Yoshimoto. This book sounds very intriguing. Oh, again by a Japanese author. Essentially, the plot is quite vague, but we've got an actress who has suddenly died of mysterious circumstances. I believe her family somehow gets drawn into the picture. Some of her relatives have mystical powers, and it's just a lot of mystery. Kind of reminds me of like the fantasticalness that I'm kind of expecting from Murakami's Kafka on the Shore as well. I'm sure very different books, but that kind of literary fiction qualities. We're going to keep randomly generating numbers until I've read a book.
55.
55.
What?
I literally just read this. I finished this today. This is a month-long devotional, so it's like a part of the Bible you can read each morning. This one's all on contentment and seeing God's goodness, which, if there was a time to read it, it's absolutely now. I'm not content, you know, being stuck in my home, and yet when you consider like the blessings I have compared to other people, I mean, you can't even compare that. So I do really highly recommend this. Oh, by Megan Hill, I forgot to say. Okay, random generator.
205.
205. Okay, 205. I have landed on the Charlie Bone series. This is the first one, Midnight for Charlie Bone by Jenny Nimmo. Now, if ever there was a book series I love that I have never, ever seen on BookTube or Bookstagram, no one has read this, and I'm confused. Like, me and my brothers and sisters, there's not plural, brother and sister, we all read the entire series, and it's such a hoot. Oh, it's middle grade. Middle grade fantasy. Off the top of my mind, this book is about Charlie, who suddenly discovers he has powers. And I think it's something about pictures, like the pictures move. Oh, he can hear people in photographs talking. It's amazing. So he suddenly gets like scouted to this magical school where all the kids have like these weird little abilities. It's not straight out like Harry Potter where they can do full-on magic, but they all have this little quirk and quality about them, which is out of the realms of possibility. Thank you, Lives. Okay, Olivia says all the characters are fun and cool. Facts. There's like 12 books in this series. Does anyone just want to read it? Just read the first one.
If you're 13.
Shut up. Adults read middle grade. It's a good time. But anyway, literally, I've never heard anyone who has read this. Okay, I think I'll conclude this here. Have we learned anything? No, we've not. We've really not. I've got a lot of books on my shelf I have not read. So hopefully I can actually start cracking down on this. But hope you, I don't know, liked seeing a bit more of my shelves exposed. Cozy Beck's exposed. She's not read many books. And big thanks to Olivia for randomly generating numbers for me. Yes. Cheers, babe.
I'm gonna do it on my shelves.
You're gonna do it on your shelves?
No.
Yes, Olivia, I'm an influencer.
Congrats.
Thank you. Okay, thanks for watching this video. I don't know if anybody else would want to do this, but I think susreads, you should expose yourselves. Books and Violets, you need to expose yourselves. Who else's shelves am I like curious about? And kirawasadiver, expose yourselves as well. Do the random book generator challenge, only if you want to. But yeah,